We must keep him in the dark.
Yeah, it did say PA1 Jinx. Atlas fractured. Reliquarian Ascendancy. There is Reliquarian Ascendancy, a new Ascendancy. March 6th. In 2 weeks. I thought it's next week though. Okay, I might play this.
Today's stream will take you on a deep dive into Path of Exile Mirage, where you'll unravel ancient mysteries, unlock new powerful rewards, and become part of the eons-old story of the Winter Season.
Looks kinda good
There are
though,
also
so far.
significant in-game changes coming alongside Mirage.
Fractured
including progression
Atlas.
of the in-game storyline, a new in-game Atlas system, and as always, new rewards to match. After that, we want to talk about the slew of new Holy Templar skills and supports, as well as an additional Ascendancy class option added to the Scion, which some of you may find familiar.
Holy
Next, we'll
Templar.
cover our new supporter packs, and then lastly, have a live Q&A session, where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile game director Mark, as well as game designer
40
Octavian,
new
questions and
exceptional support gems.
After the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes at 11 AM NZT or 2 PM PST. So let's get started. I'll hand things over to Mark to introduce the new league.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. In Path of Exile Mirage, you'll be taking on the Ufarud, a sect of desert-dwelling necromancers who have lingered in the shadows for centuries. They are outcasts of outcasts, with no home or promised land. Instead, they seek their sovereignty through darker means. The Ufarud have captured the souls of Jinn throughout Rayclast. They are killing them, sapping their energies for purposes unknown. You must fight your way past the Ufarud's necromantic creations to find the captive Jinn.
These are new specters, maybe?
Rashta, an ancient Mariketh sorceress, has been doing what she can to protect the Jinn, but she needs your help to free them. After successfully defeating them, you will then be asked by Varashta to enter the Astral Realm and break the tether trapping the Jinn there. This gate to the Astral Realm is a mirage, an imperfect copy of the area around the captured Jinn. Now, when we say an imperfect copy, we mean that quite literally. Hold tight, because this league mechanic has some serious implications for juicing areas. We'll get to that in a moment. Varashta can augment the magic of the Mirage further, as she allows you to enter, giving you the option to choose one of 3 wishes before you do so.
What is your desire?
These wishes are modifiers that will apply to the Mirage area and have some pretty potent outcomes. There are wishes that grant extra rewards, such as the wish for glyphs, which causes all portal and wisdom
Glad
skills in the
bleed.
Mirage to instead drop as other currencies. Or wishes that will spawn rewarding enemies, such as the wish for avarice, which replaces a number of packs in the area with gilded enemies that convert their equipment drops to gold. And wishes that can grant you extreme power while inside the Mirage, such as the
Godhood.
wish for souls or the wish for godhood, which allow you to consume the souls of your enemies or make you completely unkillable, while within the Mirage, of course.
Cannot die.
Each wish is also marked with the sigil of one of 3 powerful Jinn: the Sand Jinn,
Kelari,
Fire Jinn,
Roshan,
or Water Jinn.
Navira.
Depending on the sigil chosen, monsters
Navira's
within the affected
fracturing.
Mirage will have a small chance to drop one of 3 new coin currencies:
Uh-oh.
the Coin of Knowledge, Coin of Power, or Coin of Skill. Each of these coins can be used on a max-leveled skill gem, corrupting it and augmenting it with a random support that matches the color of the coin used.
What?
Only one skill that is imbued this way can be socketed into a given equipment item at a time, meaning you cannot have 2 imbued skill gems in your body armor. As
That's
an
so
example.
cool. That's like a pseudo
That's
7
one
link,
of the
right?
rewards, But let's get back to the area-to-area mechanic.
That's very cool though.
Once you've made your choice of wish, enter the Mirage
Another
and fight your way
gamba.
through the monsters and astral hazards to find the tether holding the Djinn. Shatter this chain to free the Djinn, step by step weakening whatever dark plans the Ufferood may have for Rayclast. Wishes are not the only value a Mirage
What
has
did
to
he
offer
have
to
here?
an enterprising exile. As we mentioned earlier, Mirages are an imperfect copy of the area the Djinn occupies in Rayclast, and it will copy almost anything, as long as it's within the domain of the Djinn. Mirages created from an endgame map, for instance, will have all Scarab, Atlas, and map modifiers the area had. Mirages created next to a strongbox will have a new strongbox ready for you to open. Blights can be defended again.
You can do blight inside the Mirage.
Legions fought once more, and so on. Effectively, you get a portion of your map to play a second time, and everything you did to enhance the content of that map applies in the Mirage too.
That's
These
cool.
recreated copies of League mechanics, however, have been warped into reality by the power of the Mirage.
That's actually
And this has
nice.
some side effects. For one, a recreation may not be perfect. The factions of a legion may differ from the one the Mirage copied. Or, the variety of strongboxes may change. More importantly, the mechanic may be empowered, with new threats and rewards that are customized to each mechanic and are only available when doing that mechanic in the Mirage. For example, ultimatums recreated in Mirages will have new threatening modifiers added to the usual pool. Restless Ground can raise slain enemies to fight again, or Quicksand will grasp at your ankles. As a
There's some
reward
new
for these
one.
new threats, Mirage ultimatums can provide the new Sinistral or Dextral catalysts. These catalyze jewelry with increased effect of either prefix or suffix modifiers. As you can imagine, there's a lot of potential here.
Melee.
Another example is that
Omega
Calgary
lol.
ore recreated in the Mirage has a chance to be replaced by a thaumaturgic hourglass. A powerful magical
What is
device
this?
that your Calgarian friends can mine in
What
order
is
to
this?
obtain vast quantities of thaumaturgic dust.
Ah, you get
Blight
dust.
encounters recreated in Mirages have one of their lanes replaced by Ufferood enemies, infested with blight.
Huh?
This lane can reward a new base type, the Cord Belt. The implicit of this belt allows it to be anointed, causing it to grant a passive tree notable of your choosing.
What?
As a quick note, Imprisoned Djinn will generally be near the content they can empower in the Mirages, so you don't need to worry too much about getting lucky with where your content generates in an area. As the campaign doesn't generally contain too much additional League content for the Mirages to empower, we've gone and added a whole bunch that will force spawn near the Djinn, so your campaign experience will double down on being more action-packed and rewarding.
Yeah, another 20-hour campaign.
Now, of course, if you're traveling through Mirages, encountering new enemies, and slaying them, you can expect to find some new uniques.
Okay.
The
Show
Ufferood are
us some.
not only
Show us some.
conquerors, but thieves, and have over the centuries stolen away priceless Maraketh artifacts. Using their powers of rot and disease, they have twisted these items to suit their own purposes.
What?
Flesh Render is one such artifact.
Wither.
An ancient and exquisite Maraketh blade that has been tarnished and befouled. Its rusted and jagged edge is perfect for
You
poisoning
can
and
use
withering your
the
enemies.
animate weapon of self-reflect
However,
with that one.
Varashta has in her command the power to restore these once lost Maraketh treasures to their former glory.
What is this?
Acquiring a coin of restoration by slaying monsters in Mirages allows any unique obtained from the Ufferood to be transformed into its Maraketh counterpart, its
Huh?
glorious original form. Flesh Render, for example, transforms into Sky Sunder, the original Maraketh blade that radiates with the glowing heat
Spread.
of the
Ignite
desert sun.
spread with this
When you
weapon.
ignite monsters, Sky Sunder reflects that ignite back to you, which proliferates to nearby enemies in a massive area. If you meddle with the affairs of the Afarud for too long though, you may draw the ire of the Mirage League's new in-game boss, Suresh of the Weeping Black.
What is that?
Suresh also has a set of powerful, exclusive items. Yours for the taking, if you're able to defeat him. So that's the Mirage League. Now, to face all the new evils, you might want some righteous skills. Some holy skills. In 328, you'll have access to a slew of new options to bring divine devastation and return the faithless to their rightful graves. We're also introducing some supports to go with them, as well as some new transfigured gems. Let's go over a few examples. With Holy Hammers, you slam the ground to call down a Hammer of Justice from the sky.
Holy
If this
hammers.
hits an enemy, an additional Holy Hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade, and so forth.
I think they are.
Spending a power charge when using the skill will call down an additional 2 hammers, which can also
They are testing
cause
stuff for
cascading
Piri to
slams.
Templar.
The more numerous your foes, the more instruments of holy judgment. Sweep is an old skill. In fact, it is so old that it's one of the very first skills ever implemented in Path of Exile, over 15 years ago. It's been long overdue for some attention. With 328, it has been reworked into Holy Sweep. This skill converts some of your physical damage to lightning, with shiny new effects to match. Some enemies struck by the initial sweep will have hammers of light batter them from above.
That's so
These
cool
hammers
though.
cause area damage where they land, so cluster
Melee though,
enemies are
melee.
demolished by repeated impacts. When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely.
Yo,
These weapons are
that looks so
and will
cool.
attack with Holy
Minions.
Strike themselves whenever you do.
These weapons are
Holy
minions,
armament
he
will
said.
copy the stats of your main hand weapon to deal their damage. Stand against your foes with Shield of Light, a retaliation skill which will allow you to unleash a cone of holy light upon enemies after blocking a hit with your shield. Additional cones of light will also pour forth from your nearby allies when you hit with the skill, allowing you to recruit your holy army to create purging light.
What?
Divine Blast emits a beam of holy light from your shield, coalescing into a hovering ball of energy. A few moments later, this unstable orb bursts.
Are those
exploding
new
outward
minion
with divine
new
power.
minion types or what? You
Hallow supports melee attacks, causing them to inflict a new debuff, Hallowing Flame. Hallowing Flame builds up as charges on enemies, getting consumed when attacked. Consuming a stack of Hallowing Flame
No, I think
gives
he's
the
using
attack that
the
consumed it a significant amount of extra fire damage. But only those who did not inflict the Hallowing Flame are able to consume it. Perfect for those of you who enjoy a more supportive playstyle with your army of holy sentinels. Or friends,
sentinels,
when
yeah.
they're online.
Tasty
We've
legs.
also added sources of this debuff to a number of other places, such as unique items, cluster jewels, and the Guardian Ascendancy class.
Halloween flame.
We also have another batch of new transfigured gems.
Let's see,
with
let's see,
many of
let's
these
see.
being variants for gems which
Minion.
previously
Something
had
for
none.
minions, please.
One example is the Shockwave Totem of Authority, which casts its higher damage dealing Nova at your location instead of its own.
Who cares?
You might also enjoy Orb of Storms of Squalls. These storms warp directly to targets when you use lightning skills, and arc lightning upon doing so. This gives you a mobile storm of destruction that follows you as you dive into battle. We'll leave the rest of the transfigured skills for you to comb through in the patch notes.
Okay.
Speaking of the patch notes, as always, we love to shake up
Minions, no.
so we've done a bunch of balance adjustments to a few other things as well, such as a pass on bloodline classes, expanded the passives available to the Templar section of the passive tree, and various improvements to existing holy themed skills such as Static Strike,
Ooh, static strike. I like static strike.
Holy Flame Totem,
That's not a bad skin.
and Dominating Blow.
Dominating blow.
We're also doing our usual improvement to some of the least played Ascendancy classes. This time with a focus on Guardian and Warden.
Warden.
Speaking of Ascendancies, let's talk about the Scion and her new Reliquarian Ascendancy class. For those that have played the Legacy of Frisia events, this class will see
It was so
familiar.
clear that they will add
The
a new
Reliquarian is a learned
class.
Scion that has studied history at the Oriath Academy. She is a part of a secret society of Oriathans, dedicated to collecting and discerning the strange properties of unique items. All of her passive powers come from these unique items.
This is
found from
such a
throughout
cool
Raidlist.
class. This is such a
After
cool class.
ascending, first select the power of a unique armor. Victario's influence increases the level of all your auras and gives them a much larger area of effect. Or instead, take Kilowava's Bluster, giving you a chance to have extreme elemental resistance against incoming hits.
40%.
Next, pick from a unique weapon power. Widow Hail greatly increases the bonuses gained from your quiver. Or Martyr's Teaching, which causes your minions' critical strike chance with attacks to be equal to your main hand weapons. Lastly, pick your Crown Jewel, a unique jewelry power.
I'm showing only a few.
Projector causes Nova spells to cast from enemies rather than from yourself. Or take Astramentus, simply giving you a huge boost to all your attributes. Due to all the ways you can mix and match unique powers, the Reliquarian has more flexibility in how you build it.
I'm gonna
compared
play
to any other
Reliquarian.
Ascendancy class in the game.
I'm gonna play
Our plan
Reliquarian.
going forward is for the Reliquarian to not be a static Ascendancy class, and between each expansion, the unique powers which are offered will change.
Nice.
If you don't like what she
Nice.
offers this expansion, hopefully she'll have the power of your favorite unique item in the next one. Time to move on to the end game. With this expansion, we are aiming to
A
lighten up the
Reliquarian is so cool though.
giving players new experiences, strategies to leverage, and streamlining or removing the more frustrating tasks. Extensive changes will be coming to the Atlas and how
Please,
you
less
engage with
bloat.
maps,
Less bloat.
without
Less bloat.
interfering with the beloved core
Please.
experience that has made mapping so successful.
Less
In
bloat.
the last few endgame updates, you experienced Zana's story. How she helped defeat the Elder, tried to stop exiles from going mad in the Atlas, and faced new threats pouring forth from it.
Added more on that
At
effect.
the most recent expansion, she eventually realized that there was only one way forward: to destroy the Atlas. Zana's recent actions have now weakened the already strained and tattered edges of its realities, reshaping how we interact with the Atlas entirely. To explain how this changes your interactions with the Atlas,
Didn't we had this
first want to
before in some
establish
form?
context while having a bit of a trip down memory lane. 27 expansions ago, back in Path of Exile 3.1.0,
Yeah, this
War for
one.
the Atlas, we had a mechanic on the Atlas where the Shaper and Elder were engaged in war. This manifested as influence regions on the Atlas that affected specific maps.
27.
The ever-changing
27
influence regions
expansions
made
ago.
the
Are you
Atlas feel more
fucking
like
kidding
a
me?
physically connected space, rather than just a fancy way of visualizing a checklist of completed maps. However, one of the main frustrations with this mechanic was that you constantly needed many different specific maps in order to manipulate the influenced regions. We realized we'd love to again have mechanics that manifest physically on your Atlas, but we'd have to address the issue of always needing those specific maps. The first major change we'll be making to solve this is divorcing map items from specific areas. As an example, instead of having a Mesa map, you will now find, say, a Tier 10 map. To open a Mesa map now, just locate and select Mesa on your Atlas, put in your map item, click activate, and you're good to go.
Ah, so your tier 10 map. Hey, this is similar to PA2, right?
That Mesa may drop a Tier 11 map. You can then immediately return to your map device, which will default to the last map run, and then run it again. Or choose a new map to use it on. It's your choice.
I like this. It's extra steps.
This is one of the many
I don't know
benefits to
yet.
this change, which is that if you're the type of player who enjoys chaining
It
the
seems
same
like
map
it's the
over
same
and
as Spirit
over,
2, right?
or
Like
the
you
type of player who prefers to jump
you can run
around,
any map on
it
the
is
Atlas,
equally
but
easy to do either strategy or even switch between them at a moment's notice. For example, if one day you're farming burial chambers, hoping to eventually get a headhunter from divination cards, and you decide you need a change of rhythm, you can seamlessly swap to your boss farming Atlas tree and spam Mesa for peak boss killing efficiency. Up until now, this would have required having some Mesa maps stashed, setting all your favored maps to Mesa, or doing a whole bunch of trading.
this
You'll
is
also
cool.
notice that
I
the
like it.
structure of the Atlas has changed. If you haven't played in a while, here's a look at it before and after. You will now begin at the center of the Atlas, with each corner housing one of 4 Voidstone slots. In addition, all content accessed from your map device now exists physically on the Atlas, so you can see
This is a
everything available
huge
in the endgame
overhaul,
as
man.
you reveal the Fog of War.
This is a whole new
This
game.
also means that all unique maps are now present on the Atlas, including some old favorites that are appearing for the first time. Don't worry though, you don't need to complete Hall of Grandmasters every league. You now gain 1 Atlas skill point per unique map
What is this?
completed,
What
up
is
to
this?
a maximum of 10. Given there are around 20
I know
unique
this is
maps,
Untainted
you
Paradise.
only
What
need
is
to
this?
complete the half you want, if you can get your hands on them. Note, you aren't losing any Atlas skill points. These have been moved to new places, and actually, you can get more than
It's
before.
Kadira.
Due to Zana's actions,
It's a
Egan
new
now
one,
has a
like
new goal
an old
and is
one, but we
determined to
didn't
stop
have
Zana's
it in the past few
destruction by
versions.
making use of a mysterious new discovery, arcane astrolabes. Zana is currently traversing the threads that weave the Atlas together, severing them. With these new astrolabes, Egan is able to
Sextants.
trace her movement.
These are
Using them
sextants.
causes dangerous side
Some
effects.
form of sextants.
When you use an astrolabe on a map on the Atlas, a shaped region will manifest itself in that quadrant, affecting many of the maps within it. There are many different kinds of astrolabes, and they apply different types of shaped regions.
I like it though. I really like what they
For
did.
example, an abyssal region, which causes all the maps to have an additional abyss. Or a blighted
Yeah.
region, which adds a blight encounter. Completing the content added by the astrolabe will remove the shaped region's influence from that map.
They were
Upon
cooking
doing
though.
so, every other map remaining in the shaped region will gain an additional modifier. This means as you progress through the shaped region, maps you run will become more and more intense, with the relevant mechanic getting more and more juiced. Finally, at the end of the region of maps, once you have successfully rid the Atlas of the shaped region, Egan will take you to one of 4 memory vaults, where there are powerful rewards to be had. He
Oh,
cares
that's so
only for the
cool.
knowledge hidden within that vault, so any items are yours for the taking.
So you choose the same way as you
Each
choose
vault
in
is associated with a specific quadrant on the Atlas, so you're able to target a certain vault if you're wanting to try get a specific type of reward. One such vault is the Archon's Vault, where you'll be rewarded with powerful unique items.
Okay.
Or the Zealot's Vault, to acquire valuable currency items.
No filter. Divine
This new
dropped like a
shaped region
scroll of
system
Andy.
is one that promotes running many different maps. But for players that want to engage with this new system while still wanting to run the same map over and over again, the synthesized stability keystone on the Atlas tree enables exactly that.
The fact that they have to
With
write
all the
that
new
long
in-game
explanation
We
in
thought it would be also
in
good
there,
to mention
it's
some
kinda
handy
weird.
tips and tricks for quickly navigating the new Atlas. When using the map device,
I
the
like it though.
Atlas defaults to your previously run map. So
I like
running
that
the same
change. It
map
feels
over
like you
and
play
over
another game.
is as few clicks as possible. You can right-click unique maps or map fragments in your inventory to automatically open your Atlas to that location with the map already placed and ready to run. When you select a special area that requires multiple items, such as to fight at Zeri or open the Domain of Timeless Conflict, if you have the fragments to access that in your inventory, it will automatically add them to the map device, in the right spot. That's the core of the new endgame. But there's a lot more endgame changes coming in 3.28. Let's blast through them. Over the last few expansions, we've been working on streamlining the mapping experience. And we wanted to continue to minimize busy work so you can spend more time doing what you love, killing monsters and getting loot. To that end,
Nice
we've
filter.
made a number
Good
of
filter.
changes. We won't get into too much detail, but here's a quick summary of what you can expect to have received adjustment.
What is this
We've
item
removed
filter, man?
cartographer's chisels and
No
back
item
device
filter,
crafts
actually.
entirely. The loss of content and loot here has been compensated for in other places. Voidstones now grant special global bonuses while socketed on your atlas, including adding the new
Makes you wonder who
Originator
tested this.
Voidstone, which enables specific atlas bosses to drop exceptional supports. We'll elaborate more on that in the next section. T17
Maybe they
maps,
tested
as you
with
know it,
console.
have effectively been removed. The bosses have been kept around, and they better fulfill their original purpose of being a gateway to target farm uber pinnacle bosses.
How can they
The
see
most
the...
annoying modifiers on Originator maps have been removed or replaced. No more getting turned into a slug for simply using skills. And no more will you be incapable of dealing damage periodically.
Nice.
Petal skills in Originator maps have been removed. However, some of their effects are now available from the altars and memory threads.
There's a lot of
Memory heads,
change things, though.
instead of adding a memory thread to your atlas, will now drop an itemized version of that thread, allowing you to save it for later or trade it at your leisure. We've added new scarabs, such as this Expedition Scarab of Infusion, which can generate some truly tempting logbooks.
For implicit.
And for those of you looking to take on the ultimate one-on-one fight,
Exceptional
Anarchy's
reaction.
Scarab of the Exceptional will place a true antagonist-level rogue exile threat in your map. Empowered by every type of Wildwood Wisp, possessed by a tormented spirit, augmented with rare monster modifiers, and affected by a shrine, this exile is not to be trifled with.
Am I struggling with
Alongside that,
this
we've
league?
also changed some, such as the Beyond Scarab of Resurgence.
I'm gonna enjoy
which
it.
now causes all 3 Beyond bosses to appear when a Beyond boss would
I'm
spawn
gonna
in your
play
map.
like a noob.
On top of that, we've made improvements to a number of weak Atlas Tree passives, such as Pillage and Plunder, which now grants a chance for items dropped by Syndicate members to have a Fractured Veiled mod.
Fractured Veiled mod.
Check out the new The Paths Not Taken Keystone, which means your maps on average will drop twice as many divination cards. But which ones can drop will be a mystery. And last, but not least, we've also made some changes to King's March shipping, such as we've swapped the rewards given by sending ore and crops. I wonder what this new port will send back.
Moriaro.
Ports will now give more rewards for favored resources. And you can even re-roll them for gold, if they're not offering what you're after. Specific ports will now reward specific tattoos and rune grafts, making it easier to target the ones you want.
Wow, that's a lot of
Not
rewards.
to mention, the Kalgurans have discovered several new powerful rune grafts for you to get your hands on,
Uh-oh.
such as the Rune Graft of Fury, which causes you to gain rage on using a life flask, and the Rune Graft of Resurgence, which causes Arcane Surge to also grant life regeneration. We mentioned earlier about the Originator Voidstone enabling access to exceptional supports.
That's a lot of
So
cooking
let's
for
get into
this
that, as
league,
there's
though.
a decent amount to cover. After defeating the incarnations of fear,
No
neglect,
minion stuff
and
gonna
dread,
riot. Let's see
you
the
will
patch notes,
obtain
though.
the Originator Voidstone.
We
As
saw
mentioned
some
earlier,
minion stuff, by
This
the way.
Voidstone allows new exceptional support gems to drop from many bosses across the Atlas. These
There
new
is minion
supports are
stuff
an
on the
improvement over
new
old
Ascendancy.
Awakened support system, which is being phased out.
Awaken support
supports
is...
have long been a capstone investment for a character, but there's existed a gulf between the more interesting ones, such as Awakened Spell Cascade, which has some additional transformative effect, as opposed to some of the simpler Awakened supports, which just have slightly higher numerical values. Exceptional supports will all be transformative, serving as an additional late-game tool to customize your build around,
Nice.
and extending character customization and creation even later into a build's life. One of the goals here is to provide interesting build choices even at later levels and deep into the endgame. However, we are certainly not aiming to reduce top-end player power with these changes. Exceptional supports will still be super strong. If used well, they will catapult your character even further than before. So, how many are there, and what exactly do they do? There are over 40 new exceptional supports to discover, adding additional enticing drops to bosses that may otherwise have felt not as worthwhile to run, giving players extra reason to take on those challenges. For instance, from the King in the
Hextoad.
lists, we have the Hex Toad support. This support creates areas of swampy cursed ground, which spawns toads that bounce towards enemies and then
This is
explode,
so cool.
dealing chaos damage. From the Uber Elder, we have the Void Storm support, which causes your raining attacks to create celestial storms of energy that grow over time,
Nice.
detonating as you approach for massive damage.
Nice stuff.
Defeating the incarnation of Neglect may win you the Frost Mage support. Similar to the existing Archmage
What
support,
is this
you're
build?
rewarded for stacking mana to enhance your spells with extraordinary cold damage. We'll tease some more of these before launch, but there will be many, many more for you to discover.
Nice. That's so
Keepers of
cool
the
though.
Flame is coming back. However, we do know that many players have issues with the walls in Hive encounters. In order to address these concerns, we'll be making a number of changes. One of the biggest problems is that walls would block your projectiles, meaning that when a hive randomly spawned in your map, it would make it harder to clear. In order to prevent that,
Oh, when you
walls
hit it
in
with
hive
projectile, they
encounters will now
destroy.
be destroyed by any damage. But we also wanted to make sure we reduce the visual clutter they cause. Hives and their walls are now smaller. To allow players to engage with hive encounters quicker when they do want to help Aelith, we've added a new Atlas passive which drastically increases the detonation area of unstable burrows,
Need to make the
causing them to
Uber farm and
reliably
build
chain
again.
react and destroy the majority of remaining walls. For those who don't want to deal with the walls at all, there's now a pair of keystones that allow you to block hive encounters or unstable breaches, if you want.
We still get the
Now
unique
that this
from
is a
it.
core league, we don't want you to have to grow your Genesis tree from scratch on every league start. So now, each womb gift slot is already usable by default, and access to the Monastery of the Keepers will be gained by finding Aelith starting in Act 6 Mudflats.
Act 6, okay.
Now with Atlas Tree and Scarab support, you can have multiple unstable breach encounters active in a single area, for maximum ruckus. Speaking of Atlas
Ruckus.
Tree and Scarab support, we've added plenty. Here are a few examples.
What is the
Massive
skill here?
Forces Atlas notable grants a chance to have additional unstable breaches in your maps. The Breach Scarab of the Marshal guarantees a breach boss or hive fortress, while the Breach Scarab of the Incensed Swarm replaces all of Aelith's skills with Enrage the Hive, increasing the difficulty and reward from hive monsters in all subsequent waves.
That's very cool
Graft
because
items
that's
will
too
no
easy.
longer exist, but we've moved several of the graft skills to new exceptional supports, such as the Hiveborn support, which summons an army of breach minions to do your bidding when you use a supported offering skill, and the Foul Grasp support, which calls forth a field of grasping breach hands when you recall brands, exploding for heavy lightning damage when enemies approach them. We're looking forward to seeing how these improvements and additions are received, alongside a lot of what Keepers also has to
No
offer,
more sap.
from the new bosses in their bloodline, through to the Genesis tree and its many different crafting options, like Foulborn Uniques. Also with its new narrative, we look forward to extrapolating on all of this.
I mean, not
and
sap.
learning
What
more
was the
about
skill
Aelith,
that was
Hiveborn,
granting
and
us
its
crit?
breach lords in the future.
The
That
crit
covers all
debuff.
the new content we're adding, and that was a lot. From a new in-game system,
It is a lot.
several new reward types, new ways to juice maps,
Spellcast help with
all
Pledge
of
of
which you
Hands
can
and Spell
double
Echo
up
with
in the new Mirage
shock
League,
know-how.
And all that alongside a suite of new holy skills, a new ascendancy class, and an insane amount of new character customization in the endgame. However, an important part of Path of Exile expansions is making sure there is a continued effort to improve the quality of life. So let's get into that now.
Let's see.
You can now favorite trades on the currency exchange. This consists of selecting 2 currencies that you want to be able to trade between with a single click, and setting them as a favorite trade. Favorite trades will appear by default on opening the
I
currency
hope they do
exchange,
this in
and
Period
will
2 as
still
well.
auto-suggest a ratio based on recent trade data.
Even though I'm not a huge
A
trader.
further improvement to the currency exchange is the ability to open and interact with your stash while you have the exchange window open. Now, when trading in a full set of divination cards, it will automatically be handed in to become the resultant item. If you then turn in another set immediately, the reward from the previous set will be transferred to your inventory directly.
Wow.
Assuming there's enough free space to do so.
They have the technology
Elaborate
now.
font crafts that previously gave a random transfigured gem now allow you to choose which transfigured gem of that type you'd like to receive.
Ah, damn, that's so good.
Asynchronous trade item sale history is now hoverable, with full item descriptions of the sold item.
Wow.
When using Divine Orbs, you can now tell exactly which modifiers can be randomized.
Super. Nice.
The ritual icon will now glow
Nice.
if you've got significant unspent tribute in an area and all rituals are complete. And a pop-up will appear after the final ritual completion. Also on the
This
topic of rituals,
this was made
you
for
can
me
now quick use vessels on completed rituals.
because I'm always
Have you ever
forgetting
tried to
about the
click a divine
ritual.
shrine surrounded by enemies and find it extremely difficult to click? Well, shrines now take priority over monsters when clicking in an area they overlap.
Thank God.
Since 324, we've been looking to add new
Left
ways to
button was
improve the
got fucked.
campaign experience, and 328 is no different. This patch, we've added over 20 landmark rooms throughout the campaign, scattered across all 10 acts. Some of these
100,000
reveal some
viewers.
Pretty useful stuff. So keep an eye out for the new and unexpected rooms, side passages, chests, and encounters as you progress throughout Rayclast.
Huh?
We want most of these to be a surprise, but we'll show you just one. There is now a small central island in the Karui Fortress, all inhabitants of which will drop a basic tattoo when slain. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs.
What the?
Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs. The Curator of Wisdom
So now we have
and
to search.
Iron Incarcerator packs.
So we have to search stuff
Each
now.
tier contains the pack's full
I like
face
that.
value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions.
They were
As
cooking though
always,
with this
the microtransactions
patch.
in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way.
Cool monkey.
The Curator of Wisdom series
I
of
like
support
that.
packs
Those
contains
portals
seven
are so
exclusive
cool.
microtransactions.
Both of them.
The Traveling Wisdom back attachment has all the necessary
thought
tools
they
you may
added
require
Dota?
to chronicle your journey, complete with a helpful rat friend. These chronicles will activate their magic upon identifying items, and will track the number of items identified of each rarity. Just hover the item, or link it in chat to show it off. The Acquired Wisdom Unique Finisher effect summons an ancient scroll that consumes unique enemies and the knowledge they hold. Most exiles would struggle carrying piles of scrolls while traveling Rayclast, but the Grand Curator of Wisdom armor set is perfect for the adventurous scholar. Any expert curator knows that scrolls hold more than just knowledge, they also hold power. As you cast spells, the scrolls attached to the armor will burn away, before rematerializing shortly after. It also features a series of helmet variations, so you can get precisely the look you're after. Summon your Scroll Shaper familiar pet to follow alongside you. This creature is formed from folded magical texts, and can shapeshift between different forms. You can think of this as having multiple
That's so
pets in
cool,
one.
man. What the
It can
hell?
fold into a fox, and then even burn away.
Whoever animated that
Reforming
thing,
into
oh
a
my
flying
fucking
bird.
god.
This
That's
series
really
of
cool.
packs also contains the Scroll Portals, jumbo-sized versions of the Scroll of Wisdom and Portal Scroll that you can make a quick retreat through.
jumbo size.
A supreme catalogue of knowledge can't remain in one place for too long and risk being pillaged by thieves. The Titan Apex Hideout features a colossal titan who carries your base of operations atop their shoulders.
And it's
Constantly
moving.
through a boundless desert.
Oh my god. It is $90
The
though.
Iron Incarcerator pack also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Incarcerator's Restraints back attachment features stockades that were used to immobilize prisoners by binding them to the earth as they were tortured for their wrongdoings.
Oh no, what did they do?
Shackles envelop your choice of torturing device when using the Chains of the Incarcerator weapon effect. These chains shatter into links as you batter enemies.
When I see that
Make your
scuffed
way through
model
Raycast
on
as a
the
walking penitentiary,
duelister,
intimidating your enemies with the elite Iron Incarcerator armor set.
he looked like 2000s
After a
game.
long day of tracking down criminals, step into the Iron Maiden portal to retreat to your torture chamber. It acts as a great deterrent for would-be intruders.
What?
This peculiar creature was a favorite amongst incarcerators. They would be sent into the midst of prison riots to mesmerize and control the toughest of minds. Use their talents to charm other players' pets, causing them to abandon their owners and follow in line behind you instead, at least until it wears off. What better way to
You're
execute
still
prisoners
you're
when
still
your
the-
torturing has depleted their value?
You're still
Harvest
the
their souls
pets
to fuel this
of
map
other
device,
players.
condemning them to eternal incarceration. Your kills within the map are also recorded based on the rarity of the monster. You can choose to pin an execution session that you're satisfied with on this miniature leaderboard, which is displayed for all that dare enter your hideout. Additionally, all microtransactions from these supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2.
Wow.
Thank you so much for your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, we'll post the full patch notes for Path of Exile Mirage at 11 AM New Zealand time, 2 PM Pacific. With release at the end of next week, our community team...
I'm
will post
speechless
crucial
basically with
information you need
the
for
amount of
release.
content
Keep an
they're
eye on the
adding.
news.
Now that we think about, they're cooking on PoE 2 0.5, they're cooking for 5 months. It will be 5 months until they release the new 0.5. What's that gonna look like? If this was done in like 3 months. They basically overhauled the entire endgame and a lot of shit. I just saw better endgame for PoE 2. Acts of Fire. Fine. Acts are fine, yeah. I'm not gonna watch the Q&A.
G'day Exiles, welcome back. ZD here, joined by game director Mark Roberts and
They have sound issues again.
Octavian to do our Q&A post live stream.
Oh, look, it's
discussion
Octavian.
for an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. We'll see where things take us, especially with us
sound-
discussing things like
sound is bad.
Endgame, Breach, King's March, Balance. There's a lot to cover here.
I locked in here with you forever, Ziggy.
Yeah, that's good.
What
Let's
time
do
is it at the
And,
end?
well, let's start off by just welcoming Octavian here to the show for the first time.
Hello.
And what brings you here with us today, Octavian?
This guy? I don't know. He's the one who said I should. No, I mean, I've been doing a lot. So we'll get into more details later, probably. But the teams between PoE 1 and PoE 2 have become a little bit more distinctly split as of late. There's definitely still some people who jump back and forth. But myself, I work fully on PoE 1 at the moment.
Yep.
And I've been doing a lot of the design work on, pretty much everything to do with the 328 expansion. It's not just me. I'm working with a number of other designers, but I've had my hands in a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, it represents a part of Exile 1, like getting the team and resources that it needs to like continue its development and like put out some spicy expansions every.
Yeah, so as I said before, I think Octavian is the
it's a pretty
brain now
exciting thing
behind
for, PoE 1 fans.
PoE
I
1.
mean, it's a lot to take on for sure. Like, and there's been some growing pains. We had our whole like team was split and merged team, and now we're kind of splitting again, and we're kind of going all over the place. But honestly, what allowed us to do the split this time is Octavian and Andrew, who's not here, but hopefully maybe next time or in the future we were thinking might get a bit too cozy on this couch.
We need a longer couch.
We'll figure that out. But
Octavian and Ziggy got all.
Stepping up and seizing control and having that like X factor design, which is something that I would say Jonathan and I have, and pretty much before I was going back and forth on the game so aggressively, and I was just like, holy, there's so much context switching going on. I didn't feel like I was giving enough time to each product, because I was so spread too thin, as they say, and all this. And
Just
so
his shirt.
all
I
of a
slapped
sudden,
him.
yeah, with Octavian's, just like, let me do it. And so here's where we are. And it's this real awesome story where now, Path of Exile 1, obviously, you started by Chris, you got Jonathan, you got Eric, and obviously they started the project, they started grinding gear, and they had this, obviously they hadn't played the game before because the game was new, right? And so they're developing it and, release it and all this, and now you've got this thing where it's, where Jonathan's obviously still in the picture, but you got this thing where it's kind of like me with Octavian and Andrew, all three of us coming into the company as
I
players.
think I'm gonna stop now.
To this point, and so
I am gonna watch
what
this
Octavian's getting is the story arc.
probably, but off stream. I don't wanna stream the Q&A. It's like pointless for me to stream, and I'm not continuing the PoE2 at this time. I think people want to maybe watch this or do it. I don't like watching the live Q&A, which is live. Is not the same way as I watched the previous show, right? That's one thing. I don't watch the live Q&A on stream. I don't think it's good for me. I cannot comment. I don't want to interrupt what they're saying. It's weird for me to react. I don't want to react to the live stuff. I'm okay to react to what I did before, right? I'm okay with the react on the announcement itself, but on Q&A,
First time, I don't think it could have gone any better, to be honest.
Nah.
And
so
it's good. And obviously,
the drop clock,
keen to
it's
talk about it,
45
keen to answer all the
minutes.
questions,
I
and,
think
yeah,
it's
you
well
I'm
past.
sure hopefully you are too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
okay,
see,
that's
dude.
good.
Did I get
And
it?
stuff
I think I
like that.
already got the
Yeah,
drop.
You're doing a good job. This is good content.
No, it's a big
Did
deal.
I get the
It's a
drop?
big deal. It's huge.
And yeah,
Yeah.
killing tier 17s. What a champion for Path of
Yeah.
Exile players everywhere.
3 minutes ago.
But I love that you guys have had that.
So the drop is already there. You're at 88?
all right, like it's players become.
If you switch over, so if you switch over to the original stream here, for my stream, it will continue for where you left off.
The game is in the hands of the players, right? Like
Yeah, kind of.
I can stay for like 10
I
more minutes,
still,
but it's pointless.
play every expansion for not as much time as I did when I streamed the game for a living. when it was my job to play it for 8 to 10 hours a day, but I still probably put in on.
So regardless, I'm gonna stop. It's already there, like, at least for me. You have it in other tab. Yeah, it should pop though. You should have it. Let me see. Let me see on the other screen. Claim now. Migrate weapon effect. What? It's it says migrate, not. It doesn't say Mirage. It says migrate. Migrate weapon effect. Send it to the phone. I mean, they were cooking so much, right? They were cooking so much in PoE 1. It's okay. They dropped this one. It's fine. Like, it's just a spelling error. Let's see. Do we have it already? I wanna see if I can. If it's already into PoE 2, but I think it's not getting there. It's not getting in that fast though. I don't even see. Wait, weapon skin. Weapon effect. Sunpriest Zest. Yeah, he's not here yet. He's not here yet. Anyways, I'm gonna be off. I'm out for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna watch the Q&A and just chill, I think, until like 1 more hour, and then I'll go get sleeping as well. I'll go get some sleep. So yeah, feel free to go and watch the remainder of the Q&A. I don't want to react to that since it's very weird to react to something that is happening live. Unless you're participating, it's like pointless to watch it like that, at least in my opinion. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. And take care of yourself, Ryzen. Go rest if you need to rest. Don't push yourself. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hatsiri, hatsiri, hastenadagal.